Hello and welcome to the second round of the FeckWrest Touring Car Online Championship here at Red Bull Ring. I'm your commentator and we are currently looking at our championship leader, cold racer Craig Kellett of Team Craig in the Ford Mustang. Just a little intro on the entries for this round. We have, of course, the two Craigs in the Ford Mustangs, Craig Kellett and Craig Hodgson. Of course, we have K-Tech Racing in the Subarus of Kieran Thomas and Tom Foster. The two Renaults have entered of Sam Parker and Darren Parker. Good to see them in the second round. We also have the two VWs of Nico Clausen and Sven Slebioda. We of course have Callum Baker, aka Dung Beetle, in the single Subaru WRX. We have the Hyundai Genesis of Rob Pellet has entered into this race. Good to see him. An updated delivery of Dalby Thend in the Lexus. As we said, the Lexus was pretty plain and it was rolled out last minute. So Dalby had to do some work on his livery over the week and has come out with some white stripes and Coca-Cola sponsor on the front. Good to see Dalby in the second round as well. Josh Hardy has entered in with his Renault for the second round as well, racing for Zeta. Here we live streaming that. And then we have two new entries which we're unable to enter into the first round at Monza. This is I'm the Hunter, aka Mike Kuipers. He's from the Netherlands, fielding a single Ford Mustang in the independence category. And we have Garlic Muncher 215, which is Shane. And Shane is fielding the only and the first BMW M4 into the series in a bright pink and green livery with BT, Euro Car Parts and Greggs as sponsors. Qualifying was a standard affair, and let's have a look at our first grid of the second round here at Red Bull Ring. So here's our grid for race 1, round 2 here at Red Bull Ring. On pole position for the second time we've got Team Craig Kellett for the Ford Mustang. Next to him we've got Sam Parker in the Team Parker Renault Megane. On the second row of the grid we've got Tom Foster in the first of the K-Tech Subaru WRXs. Next to him we've got the second of the Team Parker Renault Meganes of Darren Parker. Third row of the grid we've got the second K-Tech Racing Subaru of Kieran Thomas. And next to him we've got Josh Hardy in the single car entry of the Renault Megane. Fourth row of the grid we've got Sven Slebioda in the VW for Team 5 Promar. Next to him we've got I Am the Hunter, which is Mike Kuipers, single car entry of Ford Mustang. Fifth row of the grid we've got Callum Baker in the single car entry of the Subaru WRX. And next to him we've got Nico Clausen in the second of the VW Team 5 Promars. Sixth row of the grid we've got Shane McMahon in the first of the BMW M4s. And next to him we've got Dalby Thend in the Lexus RCF. On the back row of the grid we've got Rob Pellet in the Hyundai Genesis, and right at the back we've got Craig Hodgson in the second of the Team Craig's Ford Mustangs. Here we go then for the second round of the FeckWrest Touring Car Online Championship here at Red Bull Ring. Race 1, Craig Kellett is on the pole position again, and away they go. Tom Foster and Kieran Thomas in the Subarus get a great start. Everyone else seems to have got away quite nicely. Into the first corner then, and Craig has already been hit by Kieran. Oh, bit of argy-bargy. That's Craig already down to 9th position. That's a bad start for Craig. I think Kieran's slowing down to let him past, and he has. There we go. Kieran slowed down. So in the lead then is Tom Foster in the Subaru. Second and third are the two Renaults of Team Parker Racing. Fourth is Josh Hardy, and we've already got the two newbies of Mike Kuipers and Shane McMahon in the two independent entries, doing well in 5th and 6th. So the two Renaults are making steady progress and will want to carry and quickly catch up to Tom Foster leading as early as possible. Some of the guys have gone onto hard tyres straight away, so that'll be interesting. Now Tom slowing down there because of a potential penalty into one of the corners. They've turned the penalties on for this particular round because of the potential cutting, corner cutting and running wide and using the concrete on the outsides to gain an advantage, so they decided to turn them on for this particular round. If the penalty is given, either half a second or a second, it will be seen on the screen and the cars will have to slow down or take the penalty at the end of the race. So because of that penalty, that's allowed Darren and Sam Parker to take the lead in the two Renaults. This is a great start for these two Renaults, and it will mean that they potentially could get a 1-2 if they stay in these positions. We did think maybe the Renaults would be strong round here. Here's another one of those Renaults for Josh Hardy. I think he'll be a little bit disappointed with the results he had at the first round of Monza, and he'll want to get a better result here. So 5th and 6th then, that's Shane still doing well in the BMW. We're yet to see how well it can perform compared to the rest of the grid. And Craig Kellett is already making his way back up the grid after being punted off at the first corner. The race stewards will look at Kieran's mistake, but I think he might get away with it because of the fact that he actually slowed down and let Craig past. Let's take another look at the start then. We're on board with Kieran and let's see how he went into Craig. And yeah, he just went in too quick and lots of contact there. Kieran's trying to slow down, but yeah, he did go into him a bit too keen. So Craig is on the back of Shane here. Let's have a little look at the on board with Craig. Will he make a move on the back of Shane here? Shane goes slightly wide. Oh, there's a bit of a bump, and I think Craig's got him. Yeah. Onto the third lap then. Craig has got ahead of Shane and he's gone into 5th position. Shane has gone down to 6th and he's got the big penalty. 2 seconds. That's a big penalty. So he's going to have to take that, whether he slows down on a straight or whether he takes it at the end of the race. He may decide to try and get a gap ahead of someone behind him. At the moment it's Kieran, so Kieran will try and take advantage of that. Kieran will be able to see the penalty that Shane has got, and he will definitely want to try and take an advantage of that penalty for Shane. The two VWs then of Sven and Nico are down in 8th and 9th, and it'd be good to see if they can get a better result and get further up the grid. Oh, some tyres screeching. That is, I think, Josh Hardy struggling around that corner there. He's got Shane behind him as they go around the next corner, and Josh stays in 4th. And Craig's run wide, so he's gone down, and Kieran and Shane both got ahead of him then, so Craig has gone down to 7th position. So this isn't great for Craig, who started on pole position, so it was a good start, but he'll get the point for pole, but unfortunately it's not looking great at the moment. Sideways action from Shane there with Kieran on the outside. He's leaning on him, and both of them go slightly wide, and I think Shane's kept it going. So let's watch the interior view of Craig here then as he tries to get past Kieran. It's an interesting corner and easy to go very wide, and that's one of the points that they're looking at to see if people run wide to take advantage and gain speed. And penalties will be given if people do cut. So the two VWs then are still at 8th and 9th. Here's Callum Baker running in the independent entry of the Subaru, and he's got an opportunity here to get past Slebby and he's on the outside for the next corner, so he might struggle to get past him. Oh, a bit of a nudge there. Oh, and he's nudged the two VWs, but I think it's got away with it. Further up, we've got Shane, and oh, that is Josh Hardy. He's off the track and he spun it. Well, I thought he might get away with that, and I don't know if there was contact there or if he just outbraked himself, but that's a disappointment again for Josh Hardy. First race he was in 4th position, and now he's down to 11th, and this is probably going to frustrate the hell out of him for that. I don't know whether Shane went into the back of him. We'll have a look at the replay now. Let's take another little look at the onboard here with Shane in the BMW M4, and ahead of us there is the Renault of Josh Hardy. Is there contact? Yeah, there is. It's a little tap. I don't think it was very much though. Obviously the stewards will have a little look, but it's hard to say what they will think of that. Let's have another little look from the viewpoint of the Ford Mustang here of Craig Kellett. Yeah, it's just a little tap, and that's what it takes to send Josh into the gravel trap there. So yeah, we're not sure what they're going to think of that. So as we saw there was contact from Shane in the back of Josh, and Josh will be furious, and I think the stewards will take a look at it. I'm not sure whether it looked like a racing incident, but we will find out any penalties in the next race. We'll give you the information as soon as we can. Further up the grid then, here's Mike Kuipers on the back of Callum. Oh, Callum's nearly losing it. Oh, he drifts into the corner almost, but keeps it going. Mike was testing quite a lot early on in the season and practicing before the season started with the early guys, and unfortunately he's only doing part season. He wasn't originally supposed to be racing here, but he's managed to get his Ford Mustang entered in, and he will be at the third round at Spa next Saturday. So that'll be good to see him there as well. So the VWs, as you saw, were having a tussle up ahead, and that's actually dropped one of them behind Callum now. Let's have a look on board with Callum now. No, sorry, this is Slebby, not Callum. And Slebby is now caught up with Nico, but he runs wide, and Callum's on his back end, and now the four of them are running into the first corner quite close together. Callum goes back behind Slebby, and Slebby runs wide. So I thought maybe slightly that Mike there was going to lose it, but he's got Slebby behind him and to the side of him, and Slebby has managed to get ahead now as they go into the second sharp corner of this course. It's a short one, this one, Red Bull Ring. A couple of sharp bends and some sweeping corners halfway further round. And this corner here, oh, look at Callum. Oh, Callum's gone way too deep. He's gone into the gravel. That's a shame. I think he went for a dive and it was a bit too committed, a bit too keen, and it didn't work out for him. And there's someone else, maybe Dalby. Dalby's in 12th, and a lot of the guys struggling with that corner because it's a downhill. You need to brake hard into it. Dalby with his smart looking new livery, almost reminiscent of the Alfa Romeo liveries of the touring car days, and slightly even of the Alfa Romeo livery of the F1 current manufacturer entry. Disappointing 13th for Rob. 14 cars into this race, so less points for being at the back of the grid, and Oggy is really struggling. I'm not sure what happened with him. So at the front of this race then, we've got the two Parker Racing cars of Sam and Darren. Sam's got ahead of Darren now, so we obviously missed that, which is a shame, but it'll be interesting to see how these two do. And they're quite ahead of Tom, who's in third, and Tom is on his own, so these Renaults are dominating here at Red Bull Ring. They could be on the super soft, so obviously that will take into account in the second and the third race. But if these two obviously don't fight, they will take a massive points haul, and they will gain a huge lead in the team's points for the overall. They are currently leading, so this will be important for the manufacturer Alpine Stars Renault Team Parker entry, and I imagine they won't want to be fighting too heavily, as it could affect their overall race result. But racers are racers, and I can imagine that they will want to take the win. And who's that off there? Let's have a little look. Someone is off the track. It's hard to follow who it is. I think that was Craig. I think Oggy has come out of the race, is retired. So do apologise for that. I saw one of the Mustangs and it looked like he was retiring off the track. Here's Tom then, and he is in third position on his own. I don't think he's got the pace to catch up with those Renaults. He's on the super softs, but the Renaults seem to be really strong around here. So fourth position is Craig Kellett on his own. He's managed to get back up, further up the grid after that first initial corner. Kieran Thomas then, fifth position, and this is good for him. As I say, the stewards will look at that first corner incident between him and Craig, but it's still a better position than he was in at Monza. He really struggled with the car first going. He had plenty of testing, but he just couldn't get that Subaru locked up and set up right, and he even retired in the second race, which gave him a no point result, which affected him and the teams. But I think Kira's come in with a positive look out for better results in today's races. Kieran then aiming to get up with Craig, but he's got a lot of catching up to do. Further down, this is Shane racing on his own in sixth position. So the stewards are still looking at the incident between him and Josh Hardy, because there was contact. So I think the decisions will be made after the race and penalties will be given if need be. I think Shane will be disappointed. Saying that, if Shane does get a penalty, he might not be affected too much if he continues to be this far ahead of Slebby in 7th. Further down then, this race is still raging on between Mike Kuipers and the two Team 5 Pro Mile VWs. Sorry, there's the other Team 5 tyre. I thought that one at the back, I thought Callum was a VW, so it's actually Slebby, Mike and Callum, and this is a close race between them. Let's have a little look at the onboard with Mike, and Mike is pushing to see if he can get past Slebby, and he's got a great exit from the last bend there, the last corner, and he's on the side of him. They go side by side into the first corner. Can he get past him, and can he get past him cleanly? Oh, he did. Oh, but the back end is, whoa, tank slapper from Mike there, and that's actually slowed him down. It's allowed Callum to get on the side of Slebby now, so Callum could attack. And is he going to make another dive on the inside? No, he stays back, and he's actually quite slow into that corner, which is a shame. Further back here, on board with Josh Hardy, he's having a fight, sorry, on board with Nico. He's on having a fight with Josh Hardy in the Renault. Behind them is Dalby, and oh, 3 of them having a great race. And oh, Josh is struggling a little. Let's go on board with Dalby. And I think he's going to want to try and get past the VW of Nico, but at the same time he's defending from Josh, and Josh has got it inside. Oh, there's a bit of a hit there, but I don't think they'll look much into that. There's contact, but I think Dalby was losing control of that Lexus, so down into 12th now, Dalby. Oh, Josh sideways, and 10 laps are done. We're on the final lap now. Here's Rob. This is disappointing for Rob. He's dead last, maybe struggling with that hind eye. And if you think about the fact that he got a 2nd position in that last race at Monza, this is completely different for Rob. And yeah, look, he's struggling. Maybe he needs to look at the setup. So here are leaders then as they come round for the final few corners. It's currently Darren Parker in the lead. I don't think Sam's gone for it. I think he might do though. Of course he will. Let's go on board with Sam. Is he going to go for the win on the inside? Oh, they're side by side as they go down in the final straight. Darren's in the lead and he's got it. Sam nearly took the win from Darren, but it's a 1-2 for the Renaults. That is a fantastic result for them. Tom will get 3rd in the K-Tech Racing Subaru Cold Racer. Craig Kellett will take 4th position in his Mustang, and then K-Man will take 5th position. That's a good result for him. Shane here will come across to take a very strong 6th position in the first race for the BMW M4. Callum will take 7th, and Slebby will just finish ahead. Oh no, sorry, Mike will finish ahead of Slebby. Slebby will be 9th, 10th will be Nico, 11th will be Josh, 12th will be Dalby, and 13th will be Rob. Here comes Rob now.